and the results are in, and it's another red day. But it's not that bad. We managed our risk really well on a day where the small caps were giving fake outs left and right and a very aggressive pullback. So it could have been a really bad day, and somehow I ended the day, I think, down about almost 3% based on our average position size. So I'm not really too worried about that. It wasn't really that bad. But I gotta say, I'm so ready to go through another green streak. This has just been a little bit of, some green trades, some red trades, and then at the end of the day, it's, basically a scratch. So I'm really excited for some momentum to come back into the small cap world. In terms of, having breakouts that just are a little bit stronger in the first 30 minutes, first hour of trading the market open. Because, yesterday with MARK, we entered the right setup and everything, but it just didn't have continuation till much later in the day. That ended up, exploding. So there is activity in the small cap world. It's just been extended out a little bit, and the mornings have been just a wee bit slower. Today, I want to talk about MARK, even though I didn't trade MARK. I'll also talk about the other trades that we made, but MARK out of the gates, I didn't really like it because it was so overextended from 25 cents to now $2.50. So in the last, couple of trading weeks, it's grown 10x, and I just feel like it's a little bit overextended, and I'm really nervous that any moment it's going to have that, direct public offering news or something really bad come out about it. So I wasn't watching it out of the gates, but it ended up having, a flash pullback, but then it pulled right back up, had a nice first pullback, and that would have been a really, really nice trade to get aggressive on, and we probably could have walked away with 10% profit or so without having a perfect entry or a perfect exit. That was I'll talk about that one in a little bit. So the first pullback today would have been kind of nice, and then we just had a bunch of red to green moves all over the board, and that's also what I was looking for our lead gapper, CPAY, which also kind of ended up happening, but the red to green move wasn't in the first 15 minutes. It wasn't even the first 30 minutes. It took kind of a long time to come to fruition, and even after it did, it kept on having these flash pullbacks. So it was just kind of a shaky, kind of a choppy day. There was a few opportunities, so in this video I want to be focusing on those specific opportunities. I'll also be recapping the trades, but specifically, I think today, the first pullback would have been probably the best trade of the day in terms of gap and go momentum trading. So let's get ready to check out the charts now. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy this content. If you're totally new here, remember we go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to go over the watch list and then trade the market open every day. I would love to see you there, so consider subscribing, hitting that bell icon too, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow. Leave questions and comments below. I answer all of them personally. Let's dive into the charts now. Hey guys, welcome to the recap video. So as you can see here, it's unfortunately a little bit of a red day today. Again, kind of annoying. I think today's my third red day in a row. Luckily, all red days have been very, very small because I've been managing my risk lately, and we haven't had a very hot lead gapper kind of small cap world lately. So it's fine. I'm not really too bummed out about it. Obviously, it is kind of annoying taking a few red trades back to back, but at the end of the day, as long as you live to trade another day, you manage your risk, eventually you're going to be on a green streak. And right now, I just kind of have to get through this a little bit of chop, maybe get some clarity back in my head. But eventually it will happen, and eventually we're going to have some really nice green runs. So it's just a matter of time. So I don't really mind these small red days. They're not really that bad. I really want to talk about MARK because I think MARK was one of the best potential trades right out of the gates. Then I want to talk about CPAY and NNVC. Both of these, I took two trades on MBAY and then one trade on NNVC. So let's go ahead, talk about all those right now. And MARK out of the gates. And this is a stock we traded the day before. We traded on this big green day. I really don't like trading these, fourth, fifth big green days. It's even hard to say because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big green days here. We also have several other big green days as well. It's a little bit hard to say. I mean, this one's very overextended, 25 cents now to $2.5. So this one's up 10x in just a few trading weeks. So to me, this is super overextended, and I was very, very cautious trading MARK out of the gates. I was kind of nervous we were going to have a big morning panic. We were up about 28% pre-market, and no catalyst on MARK. It's just a former runner. that is super overextended. So watching this one out of the gate here, we have a high of about 2.34, 2.37. What I do like about it though, and I say this all the time, is we're trending above VWAP, and I really like stocks, especially lead gappers, even if they're into, ideally first big green day, but if it's second, third green day, if it's trending over VWAP and not pulling back more than 25%, you know that this one could have the potential for a nice open. And that's exactly what happened with MARK. This was a bit choppy of a candle, but eventually we broke higher here, and right here would have been an interesting time to get long at 236, or at least have a limit order and maybe buy a potential pullback. If you missed this move, which I did, I should have been kind of watching this one a little bit closer, buying this first pullback here after a nice big breakout, and even buying into this one as we were starting to get some momentum back in. This was a 10% move with a not perfect entry and exit. So if you had a perfect entry and exit, up to 15% potential, but I think this one had some big potential. So buying on, when this one, obviously didn't pull back that much, we have some buying volume coming back in, and, buying near here, 2.39 or something like that, and looking for that rocket back to the upside. Even if you had a hold through this, first candle, you're up 6%, second candle, you're already up 8%, and so on. So this would have been a really, really nice first trade. And this is really the first breakout on a lead gapper. I love those setups. I don't get them all the time. You have to be watching the right thing. So MARK, first pullback, very, very nice, clean setup. I think, buying this one, the first candle would have been very choppy. I don't think I would have done this one. If I was going to buy that kind of setup, I probably would have been waiting for maybe a pullback closer to $2, maybe buy a 203, 207 or something like that, set up for a red to green move. But once we didn't break down, and once we start curling back to the upside, holding above VWAP, that's when this trade gets a lot more interesting. I mean, this was a really nice move out of the gate, so I'm kind of a little disappointed I didn't get it, but at the same time, this is not like a stock that I'm throwing my money at, because it's just, there's a lot of risk on this one. It's super overextended in my eyes, and I wouldn't be surprised if either today or the next day, definitely before the end of the week, if there was a direct public offering, or if something happened and all of a sudden this stock is back at, I don't know, $1.50 or something like that. Who knows? Maybe it's going to keep on running up. Maybe it's going to have some super highs. Maybe it's going to, break past 3, where there could be some, where there's clear support and resistance. And maybe it's going to go, who knows, to $10. I don't know. I doubt it, but anything's possible. To me, it's overextended, and I wouldn't be surprised if, there's a big red day ahead of us, and it could still be today. It could be today. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the trades I made today. The first 2 trades, or just 2 trades I made on CPAY. I was looking for a red to green move on CPAY. This was our lead gapper on the day, 200% gapping up pre-market. That was pretty wild pre-market move. You can see here about 200%. Never pulled back more than 19%, so that's quite nice. But since we're not really trending above VWAP, I was thinking this one's probably a bit overextended. Oh yeah, the catalyst was $8 price target. It was an upgrade from a investing firm, so that's always good here. Biggest price target updates. Oh, this is a lot of news that came out about this company today. Yeah. It's been quite active in the catalyst space. So a lot of big news. But let's kind of look at the charts a little bit, because the news is priced in, and now it's kind of finding where it wants to go, and all the volatility is reacting to the news. So this is when the setups or the potential setups start kind of forming here. And since we're trading below VWAP, and this is so overextended pre-market, I was like, okay, this is CPAY. And this is what I said pre-market is a huge, absolutely giant red to green move candidate. And what I was looking for was either a very strong 2-3 candles and then buy the dip on that, or a break, especially once we had this bear flag forming here and then we had the second pullback. I was looking for a break of 4, but not a big break of 4. So break of 4, maybe to 390, selling volume slowing down, and then get aggressive, maybe even in the 380s. That's what I was ideally looking for. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, and then we started kind of curling here. This is actually not bad, and I realized that, okay, we're having a bit of a rounded bottom. We found some support here. There's not a lot of stuff ripping, so there's a good chance CPAY is going to make a bit of a move above VWAP, and that's what I was looking for here. I thought this was the breakout right here. I jumped the gun a little too early. I bought the breakout at 430 or 429, and then we instantly pulled back here, and I was like, no. I was down 3%. I could have probably held through it, but I got kind of chopped out here. I didn't want this thing breaking $2, and when it had a flash break of $4.20, when that happened, I was like, I'm out of this one. Just because I was nervous for these flash crashes, and you can see this, there was a flash crash, so it happened. So luckily, I was not part of that. But yeah, this was a little disappointing because this is exactly, right setup, wrong timing. This was a pretty classic, red to green move that just happened to be a little bit slower. So yeah, this was just basically a failed red to green move here. Well, it was a successful one to some extent, but just wrong timing. CPAY, we got the second nice entry here. We had a nice 5-minute breakout and a 1-minute pullback. I talk about that entry quite often. We're also, starting to build some momentum back into it. We had a nice break above the 4.5 area, which acted as constant resistance. We had 1, 2, 3 red 1-minute pullback, and then we broke higher here. I actually got kind of aggressive with this trade. I bought the breakout. I bought the breakout at 4.6, almost exactly. It says 4.5998. I bought as it was getting chipped away. Then we had a nice little run up here higher. But I was looking for this one to be a little bit stronger. And it was a decent breakout, and I could have held through this pullback, but I was just so nervous that this thing was just going to have a flash pullback again. And I was already red on the day, and I was like, I don't want to, make my I have a little bit of profits now on the table, and I don't want to, have these profits go away again, which kind of was the theme all day for me. So I ended up closing the trade. It didn't really run up that much higher, so I'm not super disappointed. But, if I held all the way through, I could have actually had a green day. So who knows? But anyway, I'm not trying to just, blindly risk it. But yeah, this was a pretty nice little breakout and 1-minute pullback, or 1-minute pullback, 5-minute breakout setup right back above VWAP. So just a classic move that I really like to look for. And then VC, let's quickly go to this one. This was my first trade on the day, and some part of me kind of feels like it was a little bit unnecessary, and I'll tell you why. If you check out the 10-minute chart, we're on the backside of a move, probably a lot of back holders here. We're in some major support and resistance zones here between 9.3 and $10, and pre-market, we ran up to this area and just got stuck in it. And every time I see these, I really don't like trading them. We had a red to green move on this one as well, pulled back here to about $9, and this would have actually been an interesting little spot right here. And then we had a nice red to green move breakout. So open range breakout here, ran up 8%, and I was like, okay, this is actually looking a little bit stronger than I was expecting. Had a bit of a pullback back to VWAP, got aggressive, had my entry. Unfortunately, it just kept selling off. Kind of the same exact move with APOP yesterday. So this one, yeah, not too great. Luckily, I did manage my risk fairly well. I got out of this trade as soon as my position did not really look too hot. So APOP, just a little bit of a reminder here how this one turned out. This was a lead gapper from the day before, and this is why I typically don't hold overnight. I mean, look at this thing, just absolutely crushed. But yeah, this is the red to green move. Yeah, this was a VWAP breakout and then a pullback, 1, 2, 3 red candles. I got aggressive here looking for a continuation move. Didn't happen, kept on selling back. So the last few days, not the worst entries. This was a red to green move that, again, didn't have follow through. We have not been seeing that super nice follow through. We've been seeing a lot of choppy stocks, which is a little bit annoying, but that's fine. I did adjust my trading a little bit to kind of counter that. So I've been managing my risk well. So that's nice, but it's also a little bit annoying having, a little bit of red days here and there. So hopefully we get some activity back into it. Hopefully we have a nice lead gapper tomorrow. I'm super excited to get back into some more aggressive trading, but I want to see maybe some breakouts come in first before I start getting aggressive. But once we see those breakouts, and some really nice follow throughs, then I want to start getting aggressive with the gap and go strategy a little bit more. Right now, I'm looking for a bit more red to green, buying dips, stuff like that, which is kind of working, but at the same time, sometimes not. So I just got to be a little bit more conservative and buy the dips a little bit stronger instead of buying these breakout pullbacks, which APOP, especially around VWAP, those have not been working well for me at all. So probably will be avoiding those a little bit more. All right, guys, that's everything for this recap. Thanks again for streaming or joining the stream today. I think we hit a record, I think, of 203 concurrent viewers. That was absolutely insane. I've never seen that many in the stream before, so that was good fun, guys. I appreciate that, and it seemed like you guys were having a good time there as well, so I'm happy if everyone's happy. Yeah, guys, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you're new here. I would love to see you tomorrow on the live stream. We start at 9:15 to first review the watch list and then trade the market open at 9:30. Yeah, guys, till then, stay safe, make some awesome trades, and I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao.